family, and laundry. I am so excited that you are here. I won't lie, this week was such a hard, okay? All three of my kids developed somehow whooping cough. Now, if you guys don't know what whooping cough is, hallelujah, amen. I hope that none of your kids have to go through this, okay? But if you do know what whooping cough is, then you understand my pain. Now, if you know what whooping cough is and your child is vaccinated, then you know this was they call it the 100-day cough. So it's a horrible cough, sometimes causing vomiting and stuff like that. But if you have a child with a whooping cough that is not vaccinated, then you understand my pain on 1,000 right now. Okay. For those of you that don't know, Jaden, my oldest, is vaccinated. However, the last two, Soraya and Amira, are not vaccinated. So Jaden has coughing. Um, he got fever maybe once or twice. However, the girl, the girls, okay. Soraya has gotten it the worst. I mean, she is throwing up every single time that she coughs. And she's coughing about 11 to 12, 13, 14 times a day, depending on how bad the cough is. She's throwing up almost every single time. Um, she has been to the hospital 3 times in total. They send us home because it's basically like, listen, she's not dehydrated, thank God. If she was, they would have had to hospitalize her. Thankfully, even though with the many times that she's been throwing up, she has not been um, dehydrated, so that's really good. Guys, when I tell you, I've never had to experience this with Jaden because he's fully vaccinated. It made me question my entire parenting decision. Um, I will not sit here and blame my husband on not wanting the kids to be vaccinated because I 100% agreed on it. I stood by his side on saying no to vaccinations. I think that I should have been more open to researching, more open to um, knowledge in regards to vaccination. I just wanted to support him, and he had done his own research, and he just did not want Soraya and Amira to be vaccinated, and I supported that 100%. After experiencing this episode with Soraya, me and Dad both had a 180 on our thoughts on vaccination. We personally sat down with the doctor at Nemours Children's Hospital, and we were like, listen, be straight up with us. Do you have kids? And he was like, yeah, I have kids. And we were like, do you have them vaccinated? He was like, absolutely. I have all of my kids vaccinated. And we were like, can you give us knowledge? Can you give us some wisdom on vaccination? Because this is horrible. I mean, our baby is literally suffering. We don't know what's next for her. They once again call it the 100-day cough because it lasts for so long. There is no actual cure to it. There's only antibiotics that you can take for 5 days. So basically, what the antibiotics does is it allows you to not be contagious to other people because this is a severely contagious virus, and it for babies it is extremely deadly because their immune systems can't fight it, and then also for elderly. So we did have to quarantine the kids, make sure that they weren't around any other babies, even though they're not. And we don't have much family out here with elderly, so we just made sure that we kept them home. However, it is something that was extremely contagious, and it is contagious through saliva. So if they were eating with the same spoon or drinking out of the same cup, you were found, you were going to get it. And so we didn't know the severity of how the symptoms were going to be. We are now, Soraya is now feeling a little bit better, but now Amira is getting the worst of it. And we're just like, what is going on? So we asked the doctor, what's your wisdom on this? And he said, out of his 20 something years of being a doctor in this field, he's never had a parent ask, like a parent that didn't have their kids vaccinated, ask him, like, what's your opinion? What's your wisdom? And we were like, wow, we genuinely want to know, like, should we get our kids vaccinated? Because this is horrible. And he gave us the straight up answer. He was like, listen, guys, I don't know what you're reading online, but some of the stuff that they've researched on vaccinations is just simply not true. And second of all, if you think that vaccinating your kids is going to prevent them from not getting these type of like chickenpox, measles, and all of that, you're absolutely mistaken. They can still get it with a vaccination. However, the symptom of it will be a lot less extreme than if they weren't vaccinated. And that's where a lot of people fail to understand on vaccinations is they're always talking about, oh, well, I got the vaccine and look, I still got it. And it's like, no, the concept that you're thinking about is completely wrong. You're getting the vaccination. So then when you do get it, if you do get it will not be as tough or it would not be as aggressive on the body than if you weren't vaccinated. And it made absolute sense because Jaden also tested positive. I got him, even though he had already started the antibiotics, because as soon as I took Soraya to the hospital and she came positive for the whooping cough, I actually had the Department of Health give me a call because the hospital notified me. And they were like, so listen, do you have any other kids in the house? And I'm like, yes, I have my 9-year old and my 1-year old. And they were like, okay, we need to get them on antibiotics right away regardless of symptoms or not, because they cannot be contagious after the 5 days of the antibiotic. So I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So I started him on it. I started Amira on it. And now Jaden has the cough. He didn't had no symptoms before, but now he has a cough and it's just mild. Like I see the difference from the girls to him, you know, versus if he wouldn't have been vaccinated, then he would probably have had it just as bad. So what happens with whooping cough is the cough becomes a regular cough the first week, and then the second week it just becomes worse, and then the third week you start vomiting, especially with younger kids because the severity of the cough, they literally can't control it, so it makes their gag reflux like throw up. And so that's where the dehydration, all of that comes through. Had I known, had I done my research on this, I probably wouldn't be dealing with what I'm dealing with now, with both of the babies just being completely sick and just it breaks my heart. I wish I would have done more of my research. I wish I would have just listened to my instinct in regards to like, okay, vaccinations are there for a reason, you know. I also asked the doctor, I'm like, what vaccinations do you think just shouldn't, like, in your opinion? Like, and he was like, if I'm being honest with you guys, like, the new vaccinations, like COVID 19, I, you don't have to. I wouldn't do it. And the flu, I just wouldn't do it. However, any other vaccination, like the measles, chickenpox, and this and that, that has been around for so many years, definitely feel like it's something that you guys need to reconsider and just do it for your kids. Like I am pro vaccination. And so I had to have that conversation with my husband to where actually it wasn't even a conversation, to be honest with you. Me and him were watching our daughter struggle and we look at each other and we're just like, as soon as she gets better, both of them are gonna start getting the vaccination that they should have got. you know. And when I did my research, it's like it's not too late for vaccination. Okay, so we can actually vaccinate them now. Obviously, once they start feeling better, because it could get worse if you vaccinate them right now. This video, guys, I wanted to make specifically to make awareness of parents that have, their questions about vaccines, and rather they want their kids to be vaccinated or whatnot. I'm just letting you know that please do. Please vaccinate your kids, especially if you're going to have your kids go to like daycare where they're more prone to being exposed to other children. And it's just educate yourself as much as you can, do the research as much as you can, but also speak to your doctors. Speak to your pediatricians, to your kids' pediatricians, and ask them like, "Hey, what do you recommend?" You know what I mean? And get that second opinion, get that third opinion from different doctors, because had I known what I know now, I would have definitely had my babies vaccinated. And right now, I am dreading. Like, me and my husband, we have not slept. We haven't had a good night's sleep. Our daughter is waking up all hours of the night, just coughing her lungs out. And we're just there in desperation. Like, we can't do anything about it. We can try to give her cough medicine, and sure, that'll help a little bit. We put her on the nebulizer, which is the machine, and sure, that helps a little bit, but it doesn't do as much as if they were vaccinated. So, this is your sign, moms, to just do your research and follow your gut instinct. Vaccinations are there for a reason. Coming from a mom that has one vaccinated child to two other kids that aren't vaccinated, I would choose the vaccine all day, every day. I pray for our kids. I pray for our babies that, the kids that are going to daycare that are exposed to other diseases and stuff. I pray for them, and I pray for, kids that are in school that, aren't vaccinated. And I just pray for all of our kids. I pray that nobody goes through this whooping cough terror, because it has been terror for our family. And I pray that my girls get better. I pray that Jaden gets better. And I just pray for all of our kids in a time where, diseases are a lot more out there due to the weather change and the coldness and all of that. So, I'm just praying for everyone, and just for you guys' health. Health is so important, and we need to not take that for granted. So, if you like this video, if you can relate to this video, if you know a mom that's struggling with seeing if vaccinations is the way to go, please share this video to them. Please share the knowledge that I have, and like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much for being here today. And I love you guys. Until next time.